How's it going, people? Steve here, another video for you. I just wanted to continue a little bit on this one of SAVIN subject. And I admit in my other videos, really didn't know a lot about this guy. But it doesn't really take much research to look online and know that who the real guy is. And if anyone, well, this video really is for those people that still think 107 is real. And it clearly is being pushed by Charlie Ward, Goguen, and Kerry Cassidy, because they still go by his fake name, his alias. They know very well who he is, but they won't say it in their shows. And Kerry definitely won't. And it just doesn't add up, to be honest. Because if you were to look around on the internet a little bit, you'd clearly see that the guy has shown his face already on stage. He's been in the mainstream media, not just on MSNBC, as in they've looked into him and exposed him a little bit with a report that's done from the Daily Beast. There's 5-6 articles that's been written about him, about who he really is. So why is the likes of Charlie Ward, when he talks about 107, why aren't he talking about his real name? And why is he afraid to show 107's face? He sits on the sofa with him, and then they blank out his face. Then of course, you've got 107 himself doing interviews with that Rodriguez guy, still showing his boots. What is the thing about the boots? But anyway, the main thing we're trying to get here is, why is he still hiding his face when he's already outed himself? He's already gone onto a stage in October last year with a QANNON followers and spoke out in the open, and people have been taking photographs of him. It's not difficult to work it out. So the likes of Kerry Cassidy, those people that are following her still, and I honestly cannot understand why, especially with this 107 character, who clearly is being used by a bunch of people to try and manipulate the political, they've got political agendas in the US to do something with the upcoming elections, to try and get people in there. They're even using famous people to do the same thing, to work along with this 107 guy, which we'll go into in a second. I ain't going to spend too much time on this, but most of you probably already know this, but the guy has already outed himself, who he is. And then people have gone in and they've done interviews and they've done a bit of research. Look, I'm not a big fan. I'm not, no way, I don't even watch mainstream media. But the fact that he's been outed on mainstream media should have got people thinking, okay, maybe we need to look into this a little bit and find out who he is. Why are you still calling 107 a fake name? The guy thinks he's some kind of a James Bond agent. And the likes of Charlie Ward and Kerry Cassidy building this character up for him. And even Kim in some cases, because she still calls him an agent. When it's nothing. The guy is not an agent. He's just a puppet, a character. That's all he is. For whatever their agenda is in the background, I really don't know. But just to show what we're talking about here, I mean, I took this off a website. And 107 introduces Jim Caviezel, the actor, right? In 2021 in Las Vegas. He's out on the show. This is 107. So why isn't he still showing his face? Why isn't anybody... Why is he still showing his cowboy boots? I mean, this is how ridiculous it is. What, because he looks a bit rough in the morning? Is that why he's not showing his face? You probably say, "Oh, well, Team Bubba, why don't you show your face?" Look, we've not been outed. Although Kim's got tons and tons of technology, knows everything what's going on. She's in control of all security services. Still don't know who Team Bubba is, apart from she keeps saying it's one person. Wrong again, Kim. Try again. It's just a few keystrokes on a computer and you can find stuff out yourself. Just people are so lazy, goodness me. Because what you want to do is just want to sit back in your chair and let other people do it for you. Like Kerry Cassidy, and lead you up the wrong path. Charlie Ward. Well, come on people. He's laughable. This guy is laughable. I mean, he's dressed up like a cowboy. In the UK, if you're a cowboy, it means that you're not very good at your job. We have cowboy builders. We call them that because they're pretty rubbish at their work. He's telling you, this is his little dress-up code. And to say he's JFK Jr., I ain't going to go down that path. That's even more crazy. So let me just play a little bit of this. This is on mainstream media. And once I've played this, I'll show you him on stage talking, and then we'll go through the Daily Beast article. So quickly, I'll skip through some of this, but listen to this.
Are you familiar with the name Wayne Willott? How about JUAN? If the answer is no, you're not alone. They're the same person. Going by the alter ego JUAN, Wayne Willott has become a leading figure in QANNON circles. As I'm sure you're aware by now, QAnnon followers believe some truly insane stuff. From the bizarre claim that Democrats are Satan-worshipping, bloodthirsty pedophiles, to the thoroughly debunked lies about the 2020 election being rigged.
Well, he's probably right about that, but let's move on a little bit because I don't want to spend too much time on this.
Usually, these races don't make national headlines, but secretaries of state, they're critical to free and fair elections. And in most states, they have the ultimate say over the entire election process, from voting options to certifying the results. Now back to Willott. He helped found a group called the America First Secretary of State Coalition, a team dedicated to getting right-wing QAnon candidates elected as secretaries of state across the country. For instance, big lie believer Jim Marchant is a leading GOP candidate in Nevada. Mark Fincham, who was seen outside the Capitol building on January 6th, he's the likely Republican nominee in Arizona. And don't forget Trump-endorsed election denier Christina Caramo, who has already secured the GOP nomination in Michigan. All three of those places, they were swing states in 2020. Their potential win.
Yeah, well, I say I don't really know much about that, but it's for you to, in America, you understand. I don't even know who these people are, but let's move on to this reporter.
So joining me now is someone who has written extensively on Wayne Willott, Daily Beast politics reporter Will Sommer. His latest article, it's a doozy. You got to read it. It focuses on Willott's background and his potential influence, if not real influence, over U.S. elections moving forward. Will, an honor to have you here. I mean, you've done a really deep dive into Willott. But first, can you just give us a little bit more flavor, a little bit more background on who Wayne Willott is, if that's truly his name? Where would a guy like this come from? And is there somebody who's funding somebody like Wayne Willott?
Sure, he's a fascinating figure to me. So I've covered QAnon for years now, and he was a name that kind of kept popping up in all these kind of weird ways. As you said, people believe, some of his fans believe he's John F. Kennedy Jr. in disguise. And I thought of him even as kind of a marginal figure. And then suddenly I started seeing these real politicians saying, well, you know, we all trust what SAVIN is saying, all this kind of stuff under this alias. So I started looking into him. This is a guy who's a private investigator in the Seattle area. He was involved in some kind of anti-Clinton shenanigans in Arkansas in the 90s. But he's basically like a workman's comp investigator. He films people to see if you're wearing the neck brace, stuff like that. And yet he's been able to construct this online persona that he's like a super spy, essentially. And, you know, this has given him this credibility. He appears on all these live streams and kind of like hides his identity. And this has given him this ability, you know, to organize Secretary of State candidates and almost like a guru figure to these people, because they say, you know, well, we trust Juan, we do whatever Juan says, that kind of stuff. And so with this story, I wanted to finally kind of get into who this character really is and hopefully wake some people up to some of the forces at play ahead of the midterms.
Yeah, so this guy, though, Will, he's not some, like, random outlier. You've written about some of his high-profile supporters. They include actors like Roseanne Barr and Jim Caviezel. Quickly, let's look at this clip of Caviezel on stage with Wayne Willott.
Fans believe he's John F. Kennedy.
Yeah, well, we've covered that bit. Let's jump to this on stage thing that he's talking about. So this is from a website, thefallingdarkness.com. where he's on stage. I'll try, you can't make this screen any bigger, but have a listen to this. If it plays.
You guys ready for the one and only 107? Get up! Come on! Got some music there? Hey, folks. All right, I love the dress. Okay, before we get into the rest of it, I have a really important request to ask of everybody here. I told you we're going to have a special guest. There's a lot of people that aren't here tonight that after we do what we're about to do are going to be, oh my gosh, I could have been there!
What drama, huh? All right, let's move this forward a little bit because I want to bring in this Jim Caviezel guy. I'm sure you'll all remember him when he comes in. Let's just show you a bit of his video. Yeah, do a little plug on his video. Why not? Here he is.
There, you got this. Folks, if you would, let's go to airplane mode. Everybody respect it. Jim's put something special together. No other audience has heard this. And I want you to see it with your own eyes and enjoy it tremendously. I'm going to sit right here and enjoy it. And somebody got my hat stand back here that I can put? I'm going to sit here and enjoy this with the rest of you. People at home, out in the future, are all going to love to listen to this over and over.
Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly jump to this Daily Beast. I'll put the links in the description below. So please, you know, in your own free time, if you want to watch the whole of that, go ahead. But crazy. Right, okay, so this is Will Summer. This is the guy that was on that, been interviewed on the mainstream media. This was 2022 in June. I ain't going to read for all of this. But, this is basically something they found out that despite his growing influence, almost nothing has been reported about Willett's background. The Daily Beast has amassed the most extensive reporting on Willott, yet from his background as a second-rate investigator looking into Bill Clinton in the 1990s to his reinvention of the Cosmopolitan secret agent 107 to his new role as a power broker on the far right. It's again, and he says he grew up in Seattle. He appears to still live there. And in the 1970s, he started working as a private investigator. So these are the private investigator where he also did insurance fraud investigations. You know, you go to sue a Walmart because you tripped over a box of bananas, and you say, "Oh, I can't move my neck," so you know you have to wear a neck brace, and you're about to sue the Walmart. Well, he sits outside your house with a camera videoing you and things like that, as evidence to see if you really are who you say you are. You know, sorry to say that you are injured, should I say. So he says in here, Willott grew up in Seattle area and appears to still live there. In the 1970s, he started working as a private investigator. As of recently, 2009, he's still working on insurance investigations in Alaska. Court records show Willott videotaping potential workers' compensation claimants to see if they were really injured. Okay. So it says in here, so yeah, he was also looking into Bill Clinton, see if they could find any dirt on him at the time of the elections. Okay, so he's, like I said, he's still been, with 20 years on, he's still looking into doing insurance investigation in Alaska, and according to court records, Willott couldn't always carry out his work satisfactorily. In one case, the Alaskan Workers' Compensation Board ruled Willott was not a credible witness after revealing footage he had accidentally recorded of himself disparaging both the surveillance target and his client. So there you go. And he went on to a show. This is how he become like famous. He become went on to the Douglas Hagman's talk radio show under an alias called W, the Intelligence Insider. With Hagman's help, Willott transformed himself from a little-known activist into a whistleblower from inside the deep state, whom Hagman described as the real American James Bond. Sorry about that, but Hagman claimed Willott was somehow involved in the collapse of the Soviet Union. Oh, it's funny that Leo Wanta also claims that, and so do a few others. So it says here, Hagman described Willott to his audience as a millionaire, but court records in Washington reveal that Willott has a history of financial problems. This talks about that, and I ain't going to go into all that. As W. Willott warned Hagman that the Obama administration had decided to murder the radio host. So he's going to say, you better watch out. They're going to come and take you out because you spilling too many beans or out in Obama and his administration for their bad things. So he said, you better watch out. I've got been told by an insider, you know, I've got some intel that you're next, you're gonna get taken out. So it's quite funny. I'll let you read. Willett's association with Hagman would also come to reveal his true identity. Okay, so there was this lady called Peshman had sued Hagman, and during the court case, Peshman mentioned Willott repeatedly in the lawsuit, and it says tying his legal name to the W, the insider, the intelligence insider persona. So there you go. I'll let you have a good read of all that in your own time, because I ain't going to go through it. But there's absolutely, loads of stuff on the internet about him. So me personally, I don't get how people can still believe it. There he is there, look, with Jim and some others. So there you go. What makes it even, where people are so like, oh, go 107, is when they hide their identity because it makes it more credible. And now, he clearly has shown himself now. But he did, but only for the Q movement. But then people, of course, have been videoing it, and someone's bound to look into his background. They have done, and now he still does his videoing of his boots. So the likes of Kerry Cassidy, just stop it now. Just stop using his fake name. Kim, you still do it. Stop using his fake name. Charlie Ward, I'm not going there.
Guys, we're here in Nashville, Tennessee, with Mark Z and JUAN SAVIN. Myself, Charlie Ward.
But I want you to check something out. This is really interesting.
Remember what Jesse Ventura said? Out of the blue, he says, I running for governor, I'm there, I get in that stuff. CIA guys come in and start talking to him. What?
Well, there it's all telling, isn't it? We've been saying now for over a year that JUAN SAVIN, right, the famous boots, is actually 107 or DARPA coin 107. And he just tells you in that video right there that he is an agency person. What is this about agencies endorsing other agencies to become president?
Anyway, if you want, people are probably going to start asking questions on this. I don't really want to go into too much detail. You need to do your own research. But anyone that wants to look into Charlie Ward a bit more, it's not really our field. I will probably say you need to check out a really cool guy, Seeker of Truth. I'll put his channel in our description field. Go and check out the information. He's done a lot of work on Charlie Ward and Simon Parkes. He's done some really good work. I watch all these videos, so check him out. And also, if you want a little bit of humor, check out Intel Lady. Her latest one's cracked. Honestly, I couldn't stop laughing. It's clearly Kerry Cassidy. She's mimicking. Go and check it out. I'll put the links to that also in the description field. Apart from that, guys, thanks very much for listening. Please smash a like and comment. We love the comments. Thank you. Keep them coming. And also try and share and subscribe. We want to try and get this channel so that more people can see our work that we've put in, and be warned about this, because it is one big scam. You've been swindled by all these people. They're doing whatever they can to make fun of you, and we have to stop it, because it's not right. It's not good. We've been through it ourselves. It's horrible. It really is. And when you really get to see the truth, and that these people are mocking you, making fun of you, it's quite shameful, really. But don't be, because many people have gone through it. But don't forget, these people are wrecking marriages, wrecking people's lives. They're turning against their families. Yeah, they can't have that. If they really were loving, good people, they wouldn't do that. They say, look, love and passion and everything starts at home. If you've got, you focus on your families first, make things right there, and then you can come and join us and do what you want. But family comes first. Why don't they do that? No, they don't give a shit. Just like they don't if you don't talk to your neighbours, or if your neighbours down the road, you see them struggling, they can't even cut the grass because they're in the later years and they can't talk. Well, why aren't they telling people to go and do that? Help your neighbours. Instead of donate, do this, buy my book. Yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot again. Take care and speak to you again soon. Ta-ra.